Imagine a world where the heartbeat of travel falls silent, a world where the ceaseless hum of human movement, the very pulse of exploration and discovery, fades into a whisper, across the vast and varied tapestry of the American landscape. From the sun-scorched deserts of the west to the ancient forests of the east, a profound quiet has descended. The great arteries of this nation, once teeming with life and commerce, now lie dormant, awaiting a return to vibrancy that seems both distant and uncertain. This is a land of breathtaking beauty and immense scale. Towering mountains that scrape the heavens, coastlines that stretch for thousands of miles, and cities that rise like modern-day geological formations. For generations, these places have called to us, inviting us to witness their grandeur, to participate in their stories. But now, in this unprecedented stillness, the relationship between humanity and these cherished landscapes has been fundamentally altered. The familiar sounds of joy, awe, and bustling activity have been replaced by the subtle symphony of the natural world. Join me as we journey through this altered reality. We will witness the silent struggle of the states most reliant on our presence. In their emptiness, we find not only economic peril, but also a rare, poignant beauty. We will explore these iconic destinations not as travelers, but as observers of a world paused, a world holding its breath. This is the story of America's great stillness, a tale of resilience, loss, and the enduring power of place. Here, in the heart of the Mojave Desert, lies a testament to human ambition and spectacle, Nevada. For decades, its lifeblood has been a constant, dazzling flow of humanity, drawn to the shimmering oasis of Las Vegas. Now, an extraordinary silence has fallen. The Strip, once a river of light and sound, stands as a monument to what was. Its towering structures, designed to overwhelm the senses, are now themselves overwhelmed by the profound quiet of the desert that surrounds them. The cacophony of celebration has been replaced by the whisper of the wind. The slot machines, the electronic heart of this city, are dark and still. Their vibrant displays, which once promised fortune and fantasy, are now blank canvases. In the grand casinos, the felt tables are empty, the cards unshuffled, the dice unthrown. One can almost hear the echo of a million forgotten moments of triumph and despair. The absence of people reveals the architecture in its purest form, grand, audacious, and now strangely lonely, like the abandoned palaces of a forgotten kingdom. Beyond the city's edge, the desert itself seems to have expanded its domain. The highways that cut through the vast, arid plains are eerily vacant. These ribbons of asphalt, usually dotted with the hopeful and the homeward bound, now stretch toward the horizon with an uninterrupted purity. The ghost towns of Nevada's past, relics of a different kind of boom and bust, have found an echo in the present. The silence that has always belonged to the desert has reclaimed the modern world. This stillness ripples outwards, affecting the entire ecosystem of the state. The communities that serve the flow of visitors, from the neon-lit chapels to the sprawling resorts, are in a state of suspended animation. The human element, so crucial to the identity of this place, has vanished, leaving behind a stage without actors. The performance has been indefinitely postponed, and the desert winds are the only audience for this silent, waiting spectacle. In this quiet, one can appreciate the stark, raw beauty of the landscape as never before. The dramatic rock formations of the Valley of Fire burn with a lonely intensity. The vast expanse of the Black Rock Desert seems to stretch into infinity, its flat surface undisturbed. It is a powerful reminder that long before the first neon sign was lit, this was a land of immense natural power, a power that now, in our absence, makes its presence felt once more. We travel now to the Sunshine State, Florida, a peninsula defined by its relationship with water and warmth. For as long as one can remember, its shores have been a magnet for humanity, a place of pilgrimage for those seeking sun, sand, and escape. The laughter of families, the shouts of children playing in the surf, the gentle hum of conversation under beach umbrellas, these were the sounds that defined the coast. But now, the human tide has receded, leaving the beaches in a state of pristine, unfamiliar solitude. The great theme parks, worlds of fantasy and meticulously crafted joy, stand silent. The roller coasters, those steel dragons that once roared with the screams of delighted riders, are motionless against the sky. The whimsical castles and futuristic domes, designed to inspire wonder, now appear as silent sentinels guarding empty plazas. The carefully orchestrated soundtracks have ceased, and in their place, one hears only the rustle of palm fronds and the distant call of a wading bird. It is a world of suspended make-believe. Along the coastline, the rhythm of life has changed. The endless stretches of white sand, usually patterned with footprints and dotted with colorful towels, are now smooth and unmarked, sculpted only by the wind and the waves. The Atlantic and the Gulf, two mighty bodies of water, reclaim their shores. The sound of the ocean, once a backdrop to human activity, is now the dominant voice. A steady, powerful pulse that speaks of timeless cycles, indifferent to our coming and going. The intricate network of life that depends on the flow of visitors is now under immense strain. The vibrant coastal towns with their pastel-colored storefronts and bustling marinas are quiet. The fishing charters remain moored, their captains gazing out at an empty horizon. The very air, usually thick with the scent of sunscreen and saltwater taffy, seems cleaner, thinner. The state's vibrant, energetic personality has been muted, replaced by a contemplative, watchful calm. Here, in this quiet, nature begins to reassert itself in subtle ways. Sea turtles may find their ancient nesting grounds less disturbed. Shorebirds can forage along the water's edge without interruption. The Everglades, that vast river of grass, breathes a little deeper, its subtle wilderness less encroached upon. It is a poignant reminder that this land, so thoroughly shaped by human desire, possesses a wild heart that continues to beat even when we are not here to witness it. We journey across the vast expanse of the Pacific to an archipelago born of volcanic fire and oceanic isolation, Hawaii. These islands have long been synonymous with paradise, a destination that exists in the global imagination as the ultimate escape. The scent of plumeria, the sound of the ukulele, the warmth of the aloha spirit, these are the elements of a dream sold to millions. But now, the dream is on hold. The vibrant pulse of tourism that has sustained these islands for generations has faded. The world-famous beaches, from Waikiki to the black sands of Punaluu, are experiencing a quiet they have not known in modern times. The surfers' waves break on empty shores. The catamarans, their sails usually full, sit anchored in the bays, their decks empty. The coral reefs below, once teeming with snorkelers, are now visited only by their native inhabitants. The absence of human activity allows the island's natural soundtrack to come to the fore. The crash of surf, the whisper of wind through volcanic rock, the chatter of unseen birds in the canopy. In the lush rainforests and volcanic craters, the change is just as profound. The trails that wind up to breathtaking vistas are untrodden. The sacred waterfalls, once framed by the flashes of 1,000 cameras, now cascade into silent pools. On the slopes of Haleakala, the sunrise, a daily spectacle for throngs of bundled-up visitors, now unfolds for an audience of ancient, endemic silver swords. The very air seems to hold a different quality, a stillness that feels both ancient and new. This quiet has deep repercussions for the people of Hawaii, whose culture and economy are so intricately woven with the concept of hosting, of sharing their home. The lei stands are empty, the vibrant flowers waiting for necks to adorn. The luau's, celebrations of culture and community, are silent, the fires unlit. There's a palpable sense of waiting, a collective holding of breath in a place that is usually defined by its warm, open welcome. Yet, in this pause, the islands themselves seem to be breathing. The term, Aina, the land, holds a sacred meaning here, and in our absence, the Aina is resting. The delicate ecosystems, from the mountain peaks to the ocean floor, are experiencing a rare respite from the pressures of mass tourism. It is a powerful, if unintended, experiment in conservation. The paradise that we seek is, for a moment, left to itself, revealing a wilder, more elemental beauty that was here long before we arrived. We turn to the nation's most populous state, a land of dreams and diversity, California. From the granite titans of the Sierra Nevada to the fog-shrouded icon of the Golden Gate, its landmarks are etched into the global consciousness. This is a state defined by movement, of people, of ideas, of ambition. Now, a strange inertia has taken hold. The familiar hum of its sprawling cities and the reverent quiet of its natural wonders have both been transformed by an overarching silence. In Yosemite Valley, a cathedral of nature, the change is profound. The great granite faces of El Capitan and Half Dome stand as they always have, but the human scale is gone. The meadows, usually dotted with onlookers gazing upwards in awe, are empty. The Merced River flows on, its voice no longer competing with the shuttle buses and the chatter of hikers. The trails, which normally see a constant procession of footsteps, are returning to a more natural state, a quiet testament to the valley's enduring majesty. Further south, the arteries of Los Angeles, its infamous freeways, are uncharacteristically clear. The relentless river of steel and light has dwindled to a trickle, altering the very rhythm of the city. The Walk of Fame in Hollywood, a pavement that tells a century of stories, lies largely untrodden. On the coast, the piers at Santa Monica and Huntington Beach, usually vibrant with activity, stretch out over the Pacific like dormant creatures, their Ferris wheels motionless against the blue sky. San Francisco, a city of hills and breathtaking views, feels different. The clang of the cable cars, a sound so integral to its identity, is absent. The crooked twists of Lombard Street are free of the slow parade of cars. From Alcatraz, the infamous prison island, the city's skyline appears as a distant, silent metropolis. The fog still rolls in, blanketing the Golden Gate Bridge, but the usual stream of traffic crossing its span has vanished, leaving the iconic structure in a state of solitary grandeur. This quiet stretches from the giant sequoias in the north, whose ancient presence seems even more profound in the absence of crowds, to the stark beauty of Death Valley in the south. California has always been a place of contrasts, and this new reality is no different. It is a state holding its breath, its enormous economic and cultural engine idling. The Golden State, for a moment, has paused its relentless pursuit of the future, offering a rare, still portrait of its immense and varied landscape. Our journey takes us to the East Coast, to the Empire State, New York. It is a state of two distinct realities, the relentless vertical energy of its flagship city, and the sprawling, horizontal beauty of its countryside. Both have been profoundly affected by the great stillness. The city, that never sleeps, has fallen into a strange, fitful slumber, and the quiet landscapes to the north have grown quieter still. In Manhattan, the change is almost surreal. Times Square, the dazzling, chaotic heart of the world's media and entertainment, is no longer a crush of humanity. The colossal digital billboards continue their silent, strobing dance, but they now play to an almost empty theater. The yellow cabs, the lifeblood of the city's transport system, are few and far between. The familiar symphony of sirens, horns, and a million overlapping conversations has been replaced by a hollow echo, a sound that reveals the sheer scale of the urban canyon. The city's iconic landmarks stand in watchful silence. The Statue of Liberty gazes out over a harbor less traveled by ferries. The observation decks of the Empire State Building and Rockefeller Center, which offer godlike perspectives of the metropolis, are empty. The great museums, halls of culture and history have closed their doors, their priceless treasures waiting in the dark. The energy of millions, which gives this city its unique kinetic charge, has been withdrawn. But New York is more than just one city. To the north, the story is one of deepened tranquility. The scenic beauty of the Hudson Valley, the rolling hills of the Finger Lakes, and the majestic peaks of the Adirondacks are experiencing a solitude unseen in generations. The grand old hotels of the Catskills, which have welcomed visitors for over a century, are quiet. The wineries that dot the landscape are still, their tasting rooms empty. The thunderous roar of Niagara Falls, a natural wonder that has drawn crowds for centuries, now seems even more powerful in the relative absence of human sound. The Maid of the Mist boats, usually packed with poncho-clad tourists, remain docked. The spray rises into the air, a testament to nature's relentless power, a spectacle now playing to a much smaller audience. The entire state, from its urban core to its wild periphery, is caught in this strange and unfamiliar pause. We travel south to the gentle coastline and historic heart of South Carolina. This is the Low Country, a place where time seems to move a little slower, where the air is thick with the scent of salt water and jasmine. Its charm lies in a blend of natural beauty and storied past, a combination that has long drawn visitors to its shores and cities. Now, that gentle pace has slowed even further, descending into a profound and watchful quiet. Along the Grand Strand, a 60-mile arc of uninterrupted beach, the usual summer crowds have vanished. Myrtle Beach, a hub of family entertainment and seaside fun, is still. The towering skywheel turns no more, and the amusement parks are silent, their bright colors a stark contrast to the emptiness. The soundscape has reverted to its natural state, the rhythmic wash of the Atlantic, the cry of gulls, and the rustling of sea oats on the dunes. In Charleston, a city preserved in amber, the silence is particularly poignant. The cobblestone streets of the historic district, usually echoing with the clip-clop of horse-drawn carriages and the voices of tour guides, are quiet. The graceful antebellum homes, with their wide piazzas and wrought iron gates, stand as silent witnesses. The vibrant market, a place of commerce and conversation for centuries, is hushed, its stalls empty. The city's famous hospitality is on hold. The sea islands like Hilton Head and Kiowa feel the change acutely. These carefully developed resorts with their pristine golf courses and tennis clubs are built for people. Without them, there is an air of unreality. The manicured greens are empty. The fairways, stretching out under the sun without a player in sight. The bike paths that wind through forests of live oak and palmetto are untraveled. The natural beauty remains, but the purpose for which it was curated has been temporarily suspended. This lull allows one to appreciate the subtle, enduring beauty of the low-country landscape, the vast salt marshes. Those incredibly rich and vital ecosystems breathe in the quiet. The ancient live oaks, draped in Spanish moss, seem to dream in the stillness. It is a landscape that has witnessed centuries of change, from colonial settlement to civil war to modern development. Now, it witnesses a new kind of event, the temporary, widespread absence of the very people who have shaped its modern identity. Our journey now takes us to the far north, to a land of epic scale and untamed wilderness, Alaska. Known as the Great Land, its identity is forged in extremes, of temperature, of size, of wildness. For many, the only way to access this remote grandeur is through the carefully organized channels of tourism, particularly the great cruise ships that navigate its coastline. With their absence, Alaska has returned to a state of profound solitude. The Inside Passage, a stunning marine highway that winds through fjords and past glaciers, is unusually quiet. The massive cruise ships floating cities that bring thousands of visitors at a time are gone. The waters, usually churned by their passage, are calm. The port towns that dot the coastline, places like Ketchikan, Juneau, and Skagway, which swell in population each summer, are now quiet, their brightly colored storefronts facing empty streets. The seasonal rhythm of their existence has been broken. The glaciers, those colossal rivers of ice, continue their slow, inexorable march to the sea. But the thunderous crack and splash of calving ice, a spectacle that once drew gasps from crowds on boat decks, now echoes into an empty fjord. The powerful sounds of nature, once a featured attraction, are now simply part of the landscape's private conversation. The scale of these natural wonders seems even more immense without the familiar reference of a ship or a crowd. The vast interior of the state is also experiencing a deeper quiet. Denali, the great peak that crowns the continent, stands sentinel over a national park with far fewer visitors. The single road that penetrates its wilderness is less traveled. This means the wildlife, the grizzly bears, the caribou, the moose, can roam with even greater freedom. They are the true inhabitants of this land, and in our absence, their kingdom feels more complete, their lives less interrupted by the click of cameras and the rumble of tour buses. This pause highlights Alaska's fundamental truth. It is a land that belongs first and foremost to itself. Its economy may rely on sharing its beauty, but its spirit is one of fierce independence and wild integrity. The silence that has descended is not an entirely alien one here. It is the land's native tongue. For a brief moment in its long history, the great land has been returned to a state of solitude that feels both ancient and deeply, powerfully alive. We travel down the Mississippi to a state steeped in a unique cultural gumbo, Louisiana. It's a place where history, music, and food combine to create an experience found nowhere else in the nation. The soul of the state, especially its most famous city, New Orleans, is communal and celebratory. It thrives on crowds, on festivals, on the sharing of its vibrant spirit. In the current quiet, the silence feels less like peace and more like a held note, just waiting to be resolved. In the French Quarter of New Orleans, the change is palpable. Bourbon Street, a thoroughfare synonymous with revelry and excess, is unnervingly still. The neon signs glow over empty pavements, and the ornate ironwork balconies are vacant. The music, the very heartbeat of this city, has faded. One can almost imagine the ghost of a jazz melody, a faint echo of a trumpet or a saxophone, drifting on the humid air from a closed and darkened club. The city's rhythm is built around gatherings, the grand celebrations of Mardi Gras, the endless calendar of music festivals, the second-line parades that can erupt at any moment. These are the expressions of its soul. With these events silenced, the city feels like it is holding its breath. The courtyards, usually filled with the sounds of fountains and conversation, are empty. The air, normally thick with the delicious smells of Creole cooking from 100 different kitchens, is noticeably thinner. Beyond the city, the bayous and swamps have also grown quieter. The tour boats that glide through the cypress groves, searching for alligators and bird life, are moored. The Cajun fishing villages that dot the coastline are more insular, their unique culture, so often shared with visitors, turned inward. The vast Mississippi River Delta, a landscape of immense ecological importance and fragility, continues its slow, silent processes of land and water. This quiet in Louisiana is a temporary suspension of a deep and resilient culture. This is a place that has weathered storms of all kinds, both literal and metaphorical. The spirit of laissez le bon temps rouler, let the good times roll, is not extinguished but merely dormant. In the stillness one can feel the immense potential energy, the coiled spring of a culture waiting for the moment it can once again erupt into joyous communal life. Our journey ascends to the rooftop of the continent, to the Rocky Mountain majesty of Colorado. This is a state whose identity is vertical, defined by its soaring peaks, deep canyons, and high-altitude plains. It's a year-round playground for those seeking adventure and alpine beauty, from the ski slopes of winter to the hiking trails of summer. Now the sounds of recreation have faded, replaced by the elemental whisper of the wind through the high country. The world-renowned ski resorts, Places like Aspen and Vail are in a state of suspended animation. The chairlifts hang motionless, their chairs swaying gently in the breeze. The slopes, usually carved with the tracks of thousands of skiers and snowboarders, are covered in an unbroken blanket of snow, or, in the off-season, a carpet of wildflowers. The bustling villages at the base of the mountains with their cozy lodges and crackling fires are quiet, their purpose unfulfilled. As the snow melts, the silence persists. The vast network of hiking and biking trails that crisscross the state's national forests and parks are largely empty. The trailheads, usually crowded with cars, are vacant. The challenge and reward of reaching a 14,000-foot summit, a rite of passage for many, is now a solitary pursuit. The crystalline alpine lakes, their turquoise waters a stunning reward for a long hike, reflect only the sky and the surrounding peaks. The state's historic mining towns, which once boomed with the promise of gold and silver and then found a second life in tourism, have fallen quiet again. Places like Telluride and Crested Butte, nestled in dramatic box canyons, feel more remote than ever. Their picturesque main streets, lined with colorful Victorian buildings, see little foot traffic. The ghosts of their past seem to have the streets to themselves once more. In this high-altitude quiet, the sheer scale of the landscape is overwhelming. The wind as it moves through vast forests of pine and aspen is the dominant sound. The call of an elk echoes across a silent valley. The immense, rugged beauty of the Rocky Mountains feels more raw, more wild. It's a reminder that while we may come to play and to be awed, this is a powerful and uncompromising environment that existed long before our arrival and will endure long after we have gone. For our final destination, we travel to a land of dramatic geology and searing sun, Arizona. It is home to one of the world's most profound natural wonders, a place that defies description and dwarfs human scale, the Grand Canyon. For over a century, a constant stream of humanity has made the pilgrimage to its rim, to gaze into its depths and contemplate its immensity. Now, that stream has slowed to a trickle, and the canyon's voice is clearer than ever. Standing on the south rim, the change is staggering. The viewing platforms, normally crowded with people from every corner of the globe, are sparsely populated, if not empty. The familiar multilingual chatter has been replaced by the sound of the wind, a constant, sighing presence that seems to rise from the canyon's depths. The silence is not empty. It is filled with the sheer, overwhelming presence of the canyon itself. It allows for a more personal, more direct communion with this geological masterpiece. Down below, the Colorado River continues its patient work, carving the canyon deeper by a few millimeters each year, as it has for millions of years. The mule trains that typically carry visitors down the steep and winding trails are resting. The rafting trips that navigate the river's rapids are few. The canyon's inner world, a place of extreme temperatures and hidden oases, has been returned to a more primal state of solitude. This quiet extends beyond the canyon to other iconic Arizona landscapes. In Sedona, the famous red rock formations, believed by many to be centers of spiritual energy, stand in a deepened tranquility. The vortex sites, usually dotted with meditators and seekers, are still. In Monument Valley, the great sandstone buttes rise from the desert floor, their timeless silhouettes standing sentinel over a landscape less traveled by tour vehicles. The land of the Navajo Nation is quiet, its stark beauty undisturbed. In this immense silence, the native sounds of the desert come alive. The cry of a soaring condor, a species brought back from the brink of extinction, can be heard more clearly as it rides the thermal updrafts. The rustle of unseen creatures in the scrub brush, the distant howl of a coyote at dusk, these are the true voices of Arizona. The absence of our own noise allows the desert to speak, to share the secrets of its ancient, patient, and enduring existence. Our journey through this quieted America comes to an end, but the story is far from over. From the silent casinos of Nevada to the hushed canyons of Arizona, we've witnessed a nation paused. The great engine of tourism, a force that shaped landscapes, economies, and cultures, has been throttled back, revealing these iconic places in a new, solitary light. The absence of our footsteps has left an imprint of its own, a stillness that is at once beautiful and unsettling. This great stillness is a fragile state. The economic pressures are immense, and the human desire to connect, to explore, and to gather is a powerful, unceasing force. The quiet we've observed is temporary, a brief interlude in the long and complex story of these places. The question that hangs in the air, as heavy as the desert heat, is not if the crowds will return, but when and how this unprecedented pause will have changed both the places themselves and our relationship to them. For now, an extraordinary drama unfolds without a human audience. In the silence, these states await the return of footsteps, voices, and life. They wait for the music to play again in New Orleans, for the cable cars to clang in San Francisco, for the laughter to return to the beaches of Florida. Until then, nature reclaims the stage. The wind, the waves, the wildlife, they are the stars of this current act, performing a timeless play on a set we built and then temporarily abandoned.